Well, I mean, we also kind of look at it as if we're, we don't force our students. Right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Because I need to fix the light. It looks like I'm sitting in a shadow here. Hold on.
Probably just need to rotate so the sun's shining on you.
There we go. I'll just go take care of the sun real quick.
I got my coffee. Hi, everybody.
Oh, there we go. Hey, Joy.
Hey, how you doing?
Good morning. Good. How are you?
All right. I'm outside. I got my coffee.
Yeah, I'm inside. It's a little too humid here. You're up in Ontario?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here it's just miserable here.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Well, it's 10:30 in the morning, so cheers.
Cheers.
Am I on?
I hear you.
Okay.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey.
The Katie?
Yeah, that's me. Light's not so great. Try to figure something else out here.
Oh, no, I've got cats too.
Yes, that's cats.
Hey.
Really, having been, like, let's go back to some of the board meetings we've had before, this and what brought this up. She just has a heart for connecting people. That's just who Kate is. Yeah. And she connects with people.
I see Andrew's face when I'm hearing Matthew.
So anything you guys have, we would really like to set up.
There we go. I think we're still getting everything organized.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess Andrew sent me, we were all on that chat. I'm trying to find my little list of questions, but I guess the fan blew it away. So when he gets this going, we'll just go around and introduce ourselves, and then ask what folks learned at the conference, since sadly we're not there and they are, which is too bad.
Yeah.
And then see if they have any questions for us.
Yeah.
And anything else can you think of anything else that you want to add?
No, that's about it. I just brought up the questions. And, yep, you got it right.
I think, for a 40-minute chat, it's going to take most of it just to summarize what they talked about yesterday.
True.
Probably.
Which would be okay if we just did a lot of listening.
Yes.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Here's Kate.
Oh, Kate's got no sound.
Oh, there we
Hi,
go.
everybody.
There you go. Hi.
Always good to unmute the mic.
We're going to be down in.
Here we are.
There you go.
Hey.
I see people.
There they are.
Morning.
Good
I
morning.
I've got a speaker. I should be able to connect.
Anybody want some grapefruit juice or some pancakes?
Hello.
Or coffee cake.
I love the Tim Hortons. Joey.
Yes. You know what? If I can't be there in person, at least I can have good coffee while I.
Nice.
Oh.
There's a slight echo. That's not too bad. All right. All right, Katie, you want to get us started while we're...
Oh, good. Hey, there you are. All righty. Good morning, everybody. So I can see all the folks we got. A few folks here that could not be with you guys. I hope it was a great day. We're all a little bit jealous. I think I can say that for everybody here. We will introduce ourselves, go around, and then like to hear from you guys. So I'm Katie Lanier. I'm actually in Texas right now. It's nice and warm already, or I'd be outside. And I'm kind of, once again, jealous of folks sitting on their patio drinking coffee. I tried that and it was already way too warm. But my background for flipping is I've been flipping physics for quite a while at all kinds of different levels, and currently flipping at the local community college. And just go around. All right, so I'm going to go kind of in the order that I see on the screen, which would be different than everybody else, I think. I think that's how Zoom works. So let's see, how about Joy? And then you can send it to whoever you'd like to next.
Okay, well, I'm in Toronto, and yes, it's gorgeous. So I said I have to be outside today, and I can access the Wi-Fi out front. So rather than send my family away, I can just hide from them out here and drink my coffee and talk with you guys. So I teach high school math and science. My background's in chemistry and physics. I've been flipping on and off since 2013, and trying to do it more so the last couple of years. And ever growing. It's always a challenge trying to put your resources together when you have small children around. And so it's been, I'm growing, and hopefully this summer will be the summer I succeed in my planning, right? Yes. I think the next person I see on my screen would be Mickey.
Hi, I am Mickey. I am in Alabama, where it is also quite warm. I started my morning on a patio, but I was silking corn. I got away from that before they were done, thanks to you guys, and left the puppy over there so that I could have a little bit of quiet over here. But I've been flipping for 4 years. I was on leave a little over half of this past year, and will be going back to the classroom in August. I teach 8th grade, Algebra 1, and pre-algebra. I do most of my flipping with my Algebra 1 kids, but I do some in-class flip with my pre-algebra kids. And I'm working this summer on a video reboot. My very earliest videos are chapter and section, and very dated. When you listen to them, I talk about things that happened then that don't make sense right now. So I am currently redoing videos this summer. And I see Phil next.
Hello. Am I up there? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Phil from Central Illinois. I've been flipping for 8 years. Just finished my doctorate last year. My study was on flipped classrooms. I teach mostly social studies classes that are flipped. And my study looked at classrooms from math to social studies to science to even a foreign language classroom. So done a lot of research in the area and written on it, so got some ideas for what they're worth.
Hey, Phil, I have a
Yeah.
question for you. Where at in Central Illinois?
I live just south of Bloomington Normal, and I teach just north of there.
Okay. I'm from south of Decatur, so maybe we'll catch up on Twitter.
Okay, I'm actually live in Downs, Illinois, so I actually student taught in Decatur a long time ago.
We'll catch up.
Okay.
Who's next, Phil?
Who hasn't gone?
See, we got Kate and Chris. So
Chris? Yeah.
Hey, so I'm Chris. I'm outside Philadelphia, and I'm currently. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. And I'm currently inside because the weather's pretty miserable here. Probably not like Texas miserable, but yeah, pretty hot and humid and just yucky. So I've been flipping for probably about 3 or 4 years now. I teach high school at a public school outside Philadelphia, and I do anatomy and physiology. And my background's in emergency medicine, so I tend to be more case study oriented and hands-on dissection, problem-solving oriented than typical anatomy. Let's memorize this, let's memorize that. So I flipped for a couple of years. It came out of necessity because I tried 20% time. And since I lost 20% time, I needed to make it up somewhere. So at the end of the semester, I quick made a bunch of videos and I got hooked with flipping. I met Andrew and Matthew and the original Baker, Kate Baker, and a whole bunch of other folks on Twitter. And I got hooked on it. So I decided to totally change the way I teach. And I don't lecture anymore at all. The typical lecture that I used to do, I took those slides, modified them, and just like was it Mickey or Katie said that you're going to redo your videos. I'm planning to redo a lot of videos this summer because they're a little outdated. But I found it allows me a lot more time in the classroom to do case studies, to do hands-on stuff with the kids, and not waste time. Well, not waste, but spend time lecturing. Plus, for absent students, which we have a fairly high absentee rate depending on the grades I teach 11th and 12th. They can make it up on their own time.
Hey, Chris, give me your classroom quote because I think it sums up your classroom.
Student, it's a quote by, oh geez, I'm having a brain fart here. I just got off working night shift as a paramedic, slept a couple hours, grabbed a shower, and now I'm trying to suck down my first cup of coffee. Mark. It's, well, it's a quote. The student made a banner for me, and it's in a classroom, and it says, "Student, you do not study for the test. You study for the day where it is only you between a patient and the grave." So yes, tests are necessary, but I really not push it, but that's the classroom culture is fine. You might not do well on a test, not a big deal. The goal is, what are you going to do when you have 30 seconds to think and make a decision to try to save somebody's life? So that's kind of the culture in the classroom.
All right.
Baker.
Let's see.
Yep.
Hey, Andrew. There's somebody else. I don't remember who we didn't.
Baker. Right.
Kate Baker needs to introduce
It's
herself.
me.
Maybe. Although everybody knows her, but
Oh, stop.
talk anyways.
Hi, everybody. So Kate Baker from New Jersey. I've been flipping for a while. That's why I teach English and not history, because I have a horrible time remembering dates and numbers. That's why I don't teach math. So been flipping quite a bit and just integrating technology in my classroom. And I am so grateful to the flip class community because I've always felt like I've been an island unto myself, and no one else wanted to try ed tech integration. No one else was really doing much with student-centered classrooms. And when I found the flip class community, oh gosh, like 8 years ago, it just was like, here's my people. So it's nice to be with all of you. And I wish I could be up there physically in the room, but had some car troubles right after ISTE, and still working on getting that stuff fixed. So, but happy to see you all from afar.
So now we want to hear from you guys that are at Fliptech, and how somebody's still waking up. All right. Anyways, how did it go yesterday? What big things are you gonna take away and use at your schools in the fall?
Someone's gonna start.
Bob.
Oh, I get voluntold? Okay. So, well, just an echo all the way across, but that's okay. From yesterday's workshop, as we were going through, a lot of the stuff that I want to go through and use deals with, I've already got the basis. I've only been flipping for 2 years on high school math and engineering, but I've only been flipping for 2 years. So I've got the baseline set up, but now it's time to start adjusting and doing a little bit of bringing in project-based learning as well, or doing different kinds of assessments and alternative assessments. And I already create my own videos, but I only got halfway through my pre-calculus course because everything else just blew up. So it's just difficult to try to do all of them. after the students telling me that they only wanted to listen to me and not to someone else, I guess I kind of have to redo them all. So, next. Oh, you got it on mute. Yeah, but now we can't hear.
Katie, do you want everyone to introduce themselves, or do you want us to go around and talk about the workshop? Or no, she muted herself. You're muted, Kate.
I'm sorry. Are there folks? I see about 8 folks there. So if you want to do some quick introductions, that would be great. Tell us what you guys flip, so and how long you've been flipping, so that we get a good idea of where you are in the whole journey.
Okay. Yes, we're gonna try to.
Yeah, we're gonna
get to just.
We're gonna move to one.
Replay.
Yeah, make sure one computer is muted and the speakers are off on the one, because we're definitely picking up background feedback from both. So, but that's good. Crowd around one. That's good.
There you go. Be real friendly.
Yes, that's what the Flip Class community is all about. Better together. Like literally better together. In there.
As much as we would all like to introduce ourselves, we're just going to give you a report from the Flip class because we're not going to have time otherwise.
All right.
So shout out something you learned.
Video, making sure when you're videotaping, you have like a direction. So like how you were saying, Eric, to keep the student or the viewer on what you are doing. So if you're going to be writing, make sure that they see your hand moving, so that way they're directing, their focus is directing to what you are doing versus just randomly moving from one thing to another. So it's just getting that viewer focus when you are presenting.
We had Eric Wagengaard fly all the way from Norway to join us here, and he came not just with himself and his ideas and his videos, but also some very specific principles based right on the Meyer principles, but specific about video and he's done a 4-year research project on this, on like eye tracking movements and so on, and just our brains just boom.
Oh.
He has some resources actually. I think you brought that you could be able to distribute.
And he's developing a handbook.
And a handbook, and he insists that he's just going to give this thing away. So a real like amazing find. It's wonderful to have Eric come all the way over here for that. So that was something like we're all pleasantly surprised about gaining. That was one great thing. Right?
Everybody else, what you got, guys?
I think I just learned that there is a community of help out there. And for me, that's like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better going back now, because I felt kind of like alone, especially in the English part, because when I felt like we were just the 3 of us who were language teachers, but I know that there's a whole community out there where I can access help whenever I need it.
And it doesn't end today.
No, it doesn't end. No, it starts today for me.
I'll say one thing that I felt that was well reinforced by talking to several people here was the amount of time that I spend at the beginning of the school year going very slowly through how to learn in a flipped environment and how to just learn in general and reflect on your own learning at the very beginning of the school year, which is nowhere in the curriculum for what I teach. It actually makes it so that when I'm trying to teach the curriculum throughout the rest of the year, the students understand how to learn. And that's a hard thing to remember to do every year because it's not in the curriculum. But I got a lot of really good feedback that I'm doing the right thing here, which was great.
Excellent.
And Angela, as the elementary person, that same thing, right?
Yeah. So we do, in the beginning of the year, it's all about modeling expectations, procedures. So for me, it's like I have to teach them how to use these tools, how I want them to use these tools. How do you watch a video? How do you take notes? So we do a lot of that at the very beginning of the year. And then of course, just keep reviewing throughout the year.
Yeah, the modeling piece is so vitally important, you know, and that's what the beauty of the videos is that we can model all the time and then be able to have students, you know, rewatch a video. And, you know, when I told them like, guys, you can pause me if I go too fast. You can rewind me if you need to hear it again. You can't do that with Live Baker, but you can do that with Video Baker. And then they're all like, oh, I can do that. Like, what an epiphany for some students.
And then the ones that need it, they're like, I put you on double time and I put you on triple time. And you sound really funny, but I mean, they don't need the speed some of the others do, and they get through their videos a whole lot quicker than their normal time.
And I think what definitely does help is a learning management system. Like we use Canvas, and having all the videos either sequential or organized in a way that makes sense to us as the instructor and makes it easy for the kids to find is really, really key. I can't even imagine trying to flip from using just a YouTube channel or someplace where the videos aren't curated or organized or something like that.
Hold on. I just want to come in here for a second and say, if you could give feedback to Edpuzzle saying it would be great to allow changing the video speed in Edpuzzle, I've given that feedback. But if we can get more people giving that feedback, that would be great, because it's not available in Edpuzzle.
That's actually the reason I don't use it.
And give that feedback.
Really? So the students are unable to change the playback speed, is what you're saying?
Yeah. In Edpuzzle, which I use for all of my videos because I can ask the questions and know who's watched and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You cannot change the speed of the video.
Yikes. That's probably the one thing I have not used. I started off with Screencastify because it was free, and I started on a Chromebook, and then I moved to Screencast-O-Matic, and I got a really good deal. It was like 3 years for $30. I'm like, okay, that's a no-brainer. And I love making the videos using Screencast-O-Matic, but I have yet to, that's on my not bucket list, but it's on my list to do is start using Edpuzzle. But yeah, that's not a great yeah, that's a stumbling block there.
So actually, just piggybacking off that, Chris, that was like a wonderful segue.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Screencast-O-Matic. Actually, seriously, one thing you guys may not know, Thursday, before the conference officially started, there were 8 of us that met at the same school. 2 staff from Screencast-O-Matic came, brought all their equipment, and a good part of the day recording some videos that will be showing up in a few months on Screencast-O-Matic's website, but it's presented as a sort of partnership, experts of the Fliptech network, and so we recorded
We'll see what time zone we're in.
Yeah.
So Screencast. So that's something that'll be coming out there in a few months. Something that, again, another entryway for flipping for folks. And the thing we were just doing before we heard from you guys was that we had 3 sort of discussions going on here about just different ways of flip learning to do more. So just kind of like what you were saying, Kate, about people may not know to teach students what Jonathan was saying. We were all nodding our heads about. Teachers may not know that they need to do more at the beginning to just teach the student how to use the classroom.
My first year,
I didn't for 2 or 3, right? Yeah.
Boy, did that suck.
So more of that as something that, let me know, the vibe. So I don't know, maybe other folks can say more about that.
Yeah, I definitely could do a better job of the first year. I didn't do any of that pre-instruction, and it worked out okay. But ever since then, I've been doing a lot more. Hey, this is how we take notes. My kids hate Cornell notes, so yeah, yep, yeah, Kate.
But whenever they say that, whenever they say they hate something, I always have to push back and challenge that and go, well, why do you hate it? And I have a feeling they don't like it because one, it really forces them to like actually think and when they're taking notes and to like do it. So, my kids will complain, oh, I don't like actively learn. Oh, I don't like ed puzzles. But I think it's because they can't hide and because they have to make their thinking visible, and that's work for them. And they just want to, coast and be easy. But go ahead, Baker, keep going about them Cornell notes. They rock.
No, that's it. That's a good point. So maybe I'll revisit that. But I don't know what I was saying.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, no. So that's one of the things about the classes. Okay, so the typical high school. I don't know about you guys. The typical high school classroom. The very first day of class, we have a block schedule. So my kids have 4 classes a day, and every class they go to, they get, all right, here's your assigned seat. Here's the syllabus, and we're going to read through the syllabus, and here are the rules, and here's this, that, the other thing, and whatever. And I just got so sick of not only doing that, but hearing them complain. And it wasn't like, I mean, I'm not phrasing it the right way, but I felt bad for them. I'm like, you know what? This sucks. I would hate it as a student, so I'm not going to do it. So the very first class, I don't have assigned seating. I've got flexible seating, and we start off with a case study. We start off with I take a kid, pull them out in the hallway, and I say, okay, you're going to have a really tough first day here. I'm going to put a blanket on the floor for you, and you're going to, excuse me, you're going to be unconscious. And we spend the entire 75 minutes brainstorming the issues of a patient being unconscious. What could be some of the causes, medical wise? What are some concerns? So here's the thing, like we jump right into class. So I almost feel bad saying, okay, guys, everybody grab your computers, put your earbuds in, and this is how you guys are going to take notes during flip lectures. So I've got to find a happy median between like jumping into the stuff that I want to do with the kids and helping them with the flip lectures,
I have a question for folks. All right, go ahead.
Well, I was going to answer him. Well, one thing you can do is buddy them up because some of them learn it in 1 second and others need more help in navigating how to do it. So it can take a lot less time if you just say, okay, help each other buddy up. Who needs help? Who wants to give help?
Oh, I like that. And then they can compare notes and see whether or not what they got from the lecture is the.
I just had a question for Phil. You said you did a lot of doctoral work with Flip. Give me a highlight. Give me something that you have that you're like, bam, here's my knowledge.
One of the things I thought was really cool was one of the classes I went into, she was actually teaching 2 levels of middle school math. And one of the things she found out was that she used what she called a checklist system, and kids were just all over the place in terms of where they were at. Some were doing things where they got ahead, and their goal was to be taking calculus by their senior year, even though they're all just right now in middle school. And others were basically doing sort of the A version, B version of algebra. So they were kind of getting, the first half of algebra in that whole year, where the other ones were on a pace to do the entire Algebra 1 curriculum in junior high. And she had these worksheets. She would do little small checks. Students were watching videos sometimes in class. So I found also 3 or 4, and including myself, I kind of switched to sort of an in-class flip where I've got built-in time on days where they might be reading and answering questions, where when they finish, they can watch the lecture videos. And most of my lecture videos are designed around having them help answer the questions on the study guide for the unit. So when I start a new unit, they get the study guide on day 1. And as they go through and watch the videos, they actually then literally can fill out the study guide as they go along. And so instead of, I can just check and kind of see their progress that way. And one of the ways, the nice thing about having an LMS, whether it's Canvas or I use Schoology, is that in Schoology we can use completion rules. So I can put the videos and the assignments and all those things in order and say, you have to finish this and submit before you can do the next one. You have to watch this before you can do the next one. And I think my next plan is to take the study guide and essentially break it up so that whatever video it is, just the part of the study guide that covers that goes with that video. And they can, in that way, I can kind of force them to do a little more of that study guide in advance.
That's awesome. That's some great stuff.
Is your work published or available somewhere?
My dissertation it's really long. I'm actually writing a sort of a chapter version this summer for one of my committee members for a book. So when that comes open to be published, I'm not sure she's saying December or early next year. I do have a chapter from a previous book that is available. I could toss out a link to that. So,
awesome.
But like mine is on I'm blanking, that does all the hosting of dissertations and stuff, but it's pretty long. You need about 187 pages, I think. So most people don't want to read through that.
Well, we'll look forward to that resource. Joy, what do you got from the northern region?
Sunshine, apparently. Yeah, you know, that whole idea of having people at different levels is something that's really resonating with me. I did that for an organic chemistry unit, and it seemed to work really well because that was a unit where I already had packages ready to go, and I was able to circulate around the classroom and check off people as they went and see where people are at. So I think I actually want to move to that with my grade 11 college math class. So, sorry, in Canada we have college and university is kind of what you guys call college. And our college is, I think, more what you call like a technical school or something, where it's more of like practical focused. So my college prep class tends to be people who struggle with math, struggle with attendance, as it came up. But I think I want to move to a mastery system with them where it's the same kind of idea where they're looking through the mini videos and kind of checking off as they go. So I find they really struggle with trig. But once they get through trig, like the finance unit tends to go really well for them. Like, hey, here's the things you need to worry about when you're buying a car. But talking about exponential functions, like, forget it. They don't check into that until we talk about how it has to do with like compound interest, for example. So yeah, and mastery is where I would like to go with more of my courses, but I don't think it's well suited to everything that I do. So just kind of, I think this summer taking mastery development towards that one math class, and for my grade 9 science, kind of getting it ready a little bit differently in terms of like more hands-on activities that we can do to kind of hammer home the points. What I struggle with more, I mean, because my background is in chemistry and physics, and math as well, I find I'm really good at doing videos that are procedural based, but I'm not so good when it comes to, oh, look at that, the unlimited time. Thanks, Andrew. I'm not so good when it comes to making videos that have to do with like ecology or something more biology based, where there's more, it's more content heavy. And maybe that's some, excuse me, a place where I can learn more from you folks who do like social science or something where there's more content to it. Like when I do a content video, I feel like I'm just saying what's in the textbook, and I start to feel like why am I just asking them to read this textbook section instead of me saying it? Maybe it's more in terms of like I can give it a more organized, I don't know, scaffolded outline to it. I don't know. So if anybody has any suggestions on that front, I'm all ears, because I like I said, I'm great for procedural. Here's how you solve a quadratic equation video, but not a content heavy video.
That's, that I think is one of the tough things, is getting us to step, especially as math people or chemistry people, stepping outside our procedure into application, into kind of what Chris does as far as, hey, here's the situation. You just happen to need an algorithm, or you happen to need a procedure for this, but you first have to decide which procedure is required.
Hey, physics
do.
people can help with that. We got all kinds of things that go along with, I don't know, math stuff. So you can, those quadratic equations, anytime you chunk a ball anywhere, launch anything. So you can turn to that to get some help. There you go. Or be like Chris, you can lump buddy and have them die at the end, and then you have some anatomy, physiology, and physics going on.
Cross-curricular action.
There you go.
Well, actually, Joy, I think I do most. I don't. But it's funny because flippers seems to be like in two camps: either the technical, like math, science, or like the humanities. And I don't know how to. I think it has to do with like the in class time, the group time, the face to face time. The humanities folks it seems as though you guys tend to do a lot of conferencing and looking at the writing and discussion. Whereas for the technical folks, our face to face group time, in class time, is done with more activities or more things that you can't do outside the classroom. I don't necessarily flip my procedures most. I tend to flip a lot of the content. So it sounds like that's what you're wondering how to do, Joy. And actually, I don't have a problem with, in a way, restating the way the book presents. We use you there? Oh. We use a college textbook, and we use a college textbook, and it's a pretty technical textbook. And so what I like to do is take what I want the kids to get from it and turn those into lecture notes, like Google Slides, and then make a video from that. So it kind of distills down what I want them to know. So it is like them getting the textbook, but it's kind of like what back when I was in high school, I was pretty lazy and I really did not like English class and I really did not like reading. So what did I do? I went to Hollywood Video and got the videos and watched it. And yeah, I know it's totally different, but at least this way the kids can read the textbook and watch the video, or if they're in a pinch for time, watch the video and get a different viewpoint,
We're gonna have to wrap this up. Kind of soon here. Is anyone dying to say something, ask something before we? You guys will be able to continue. I'll keep it posted. So we'll put a plug on your connections. But
I just want to say one thing to Joy about the content. One of the things that I do, I teach linguistics flipping. So I do it as sort of like a think aloud, like I model thinking about it, and I wonder about this. And then I say, oh, well, there's actually a rule that covers that. And then I work with them on the rule, but I do it think aloud. I like become a student when I do it, on the video lecture. So it's less me telling than me learning it myself. That's just a tip, a possible way to do it.
And Jonathan takes becoming a student to an entirely separate like that's entirely different.
I always say like videos like flipping, like cloning myself, but yeah, that's the ultimate. Truly cool. All right. Well, thanks for joining with us.
We didn't record this, did we?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did. I don't know why we can't hear them.
Oh,
all right.
I don't think anyone's talking.
We're all muted.
I'll have us muted.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Have a
Thanks,
great
guys. Hey, Andrew.
Yeah.
Oh, do me a favor. Can you do us a favor? Can you put in all you guys, because I don't know some of you guys, and your handles or your contact info. That way we can grow our network.
Definitely, it's gonna be a whole. That's actually one of the things we're about to do is sit down with some of those things.
Awesome.
I have a challenge. I challenge people to type up their takeaways from the last couple of days and flip blogs it, and maybe we can have a page on FLN that we link to everybody's blogs and say like, hey, here's what we learned. Because, this face-to-face thing is great, but later on you might be like, oh, I forgot to say this. And you can put that into your blog post, right? And say like, here's the major things that I took away from Fliptech New England. And hopefully next year face to face. Right?
Yeah. We'll figure something out for sure. All right, thanks, everybody.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, I guess we can head out.
It was nice to see all you.
I know, it's been fun this morning.
Yeah,
Everybody
that
had
was
a
really
great
cool. I've
day.
never used Zoom before. This was pretty cool.
Zoom is great. I love this platform.
Never. Is it free?
I don't think so.
It is free, but if you want to do recording, you only get like 40 minutes of recording time on the free side, and then you have to upgrade to like, and the subscription was like $15 a month for the premium, and it would give you unlimited recording time. So,
or we could just record the screencast it.
do that too. I don't know if it gets a little glitchy though, with like the sound echoing back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
Possibly. So
since you have Canvas, you can do this as conferences in Canvas, and you can record it and post it with your kids and do reviews. You can invite them all in, and you can actually control what they say and do and what they show. And there's all, and then I know. They can, and depending on how your admin has it set up, they can actually run conferences in the background and you won't know about it, which is a little dangerous.
Oh, I'll have to look into that.
But
that's on Canvas?
Yeah, it's on Canvas. It's called Conferences. And if anybody has any Canvas questions, that was what I did for 3 years for the district, piloting it and getting it going at the high school and junior high. So.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we're deep in that. But no, it's very cool.
Very cool.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Well, it was good talking to you guys.
Yeah, happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday, everybody.
Yeah. Enjoy the day. Thank you.
You too. All right. See y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.